This video carries a certain tone of consciousness. You may simply listen with your breath.
Hello everyone, I'm Dreamwalker. Today's video is more like a reminder. After reading many of the recent comments, I realized that some people are slowly drifting away from the original meaning behind these ideas. Some viewers have started mixing different belief systems together, trying to force every spiritual concept into one giant explanation for life. And that is where the illusion begins. Over the past few weeks, as I continued making these videos, many of you naturally began reflecting on yourselves. That part is good. But when reflection loses balance, people start leaning too far into fantasy. So this video is here to pull things back to the center, because some of you no longer understand the true essence behind awakening. I said this before in older videos. If you truly believe in a worldview, then understand its foundation completely. You cannot just take one idea from here, another from there, combine religions, philosophies, manifestation theories, simulation theories, and random spiritual concepts into one giant mental soup. Right now, before any major life changes arrive, you still have time to slowly organize your thoughts. But once real hardship begins, your mindset matters. And many people are already misunderstanding the point. Let me say something carefully. The simulation, the NPCs. Maybe none of it is real. Maybe nobody is testing you. Maybe every event in your life is simply the result of your own choices, your own patterns, your own karma. If that were true, then how would you treat the people around you? How would you face conflict? How would you face suffering? Would you still blame some invisible system? Or would you finally start reflecting on yourself? Now let me say the opposite. Maybe the simulation is real. Maybe NPCs do exist. But here's the important part. That truth changes absolutely nothing about how you should treat people. This is where many viewers became lost. They learned a concept, then used it to escape self-reflection. Someone hurts them. They're just an NPC. Life becomes difficult. The simulator is testing me. Things don't go their way. This reality is fake anyway. Do you see the problem? That is not awakening. That is ego wearing spiritual clothing. Real growth is not about collecting hidden truths. Real growth is personality refinement, emotional maturity, responsibility, self-awareness. The moment you use spiritual concepts to avoid improving yourself, your growth stops. And once growth stops, illusion begins. Even if this world truly contains simulations, higher dimensions, or hidden systems, people still cry. People still suffer. People still smile. People still bleed. So what matters is not whether someone is an NPC. What matters is, can you still treat them like a human being? Let me give an example. I once had a close friend who was constantly bullied throughout his life. School, military service, workplaces. Everywhere he went, the same result followed him. Most people in that situation would say, "The world is unfair. People don't understand me." But eventually, you must ask a difficult question. If every environment leads to the same outcome, could the issue also exist within yourself? That is not cruelty. That is reflection. And reflection is necessary for growth. A truly awakened person does not use truth as an excuse to avoid accountability. They become calmer, kinder, more balanced, more self-aware, not more arrogant, not more detached, not emotionally numb. When I first believed I understood these truths, my reaction was actually very simple. I see. That was it. I didn't suddenly hate the world. I didn't start treating people differently. I didn't become obsessed with proving who had a soul and who didn't. Because, honestly, the world still felt beautiful to me. This channel only has two purposes: to discuss hidden possibilities about reality, and to encourage self-awakening. But these two things should never be fused together into an excuse for superiority. Otherwise, spirituality becomes fantasy, and fantasy eventually destroys people from the inside. Even if someone is an NPC, they still laugh, they still cry, they still experience pain. So why would you treat them as less than human? The way you view others reveals your level of consciousness far more than any spiritual theory ever could. True awakening is not about escaping humanity. It is about becoming more human, more grounded, more compassionate, more honest with yourself. That is the real test. Not whether you know the truth, but whether knowing it made you kinder, or simply more delusional. And before ending this video, I want to leave you with something simple. Long before all these discussions about simulations and awakening, I was just an ordinary person, a gamer, a creator, someone trying to understand life like everyone else. And honestly, the qualities that matter most have never changed. Not spiritual labels, not hidden knowledge, but sincerity, empathy, reciprocity, and the ability to genuinely care about others. Because, in the end, the people who stay in your life are usually the ones who feel warmth when they think of you, not the ones impressed by your theories. See you next time.
If this resonates, allow it to settle naturally, without forcing interpretation or conclusion. Just let it be. Thank you.